Hello everyone, welcome to PLC programming. So today we are starting a new series to understand servo motion, servo applications. In this series we will try to create 5 to 7 minute videos explaining most prominent topics of servo motion. I have made a list of the topics that I will try to cover in this series, and after this series we will be starting a full-fledged course on servo motion. So here are the topics which I will try to cover in these crisp videos, starting from a different base, how we can use a servo drive with PLC or without PLC, maybe using PTO communication interface or the internal position registers or the IO terminals. So here I will try to discuss the different control modes and then different type of servo applications. Then I will try to discuss on PTO interface that we generally refer as pulse train output, or in some cases we also call it as PTI, pulse train input, when we refer to servo drive. And then how we can do standalone positioning applications with PTO. Then we will also try to understand how we can do complex applications with PTO. When I say complex, how we can do gearing and camming on PTO, that is also possible, yes. And then we will try to understand different kind of communication protocol available in servo drives and in some motion controllers or PLCs like Circos, CanMotion, EtherCAT, Ethernet, Profinet. We will try to discuss on these communication interfaces. Then we will try to understand how we can do synchronous control or maybe multi-access control using the communication protocols with PLC. We will try to understand e-camming, e-gearing, and how we can do interpolation with PLC, how we can handle CNC applications. We will try to understand robotics applications with PLC, and then finally we will try to understand how we can build our own motion control library, how we can build our own motion control kernel, and then I will try to go through some of the available programs for the machines, the real world machines, maybe the packaging machines or some other kind of machines. I will try to touch on these topics. And for all these topics, we will be using two different training setups. The first training setup is 3-axis setup, and it has 1, 2, 3 axis, and the setup name is 3D plotter. It has a pen to plot. We will try to plot different pictures, different names using this setup. And here we will try to understand how we need to do the configuration of the communication protocol, what are the parameters that we need to take care, how to decide the ideal scan cycle per PLC for the motion application, and then we will try to dive into camming, gearing, interpolation, robotics, and then we will try to do some hands-on with this setup on camming, gearing, interpolation, motion, single access control, and also we will try to see if we can create some of the things which you guys might be sharing in future with me. And then the next training setup that we have is one drive and one motor and one controller. This drive supports both PTO and EtherCAT. So here I will try to touch on the PTO topics, how to do calculations for PTO, what should be the ideal pulses per revolution that we should set for the particular for application requirements, how we can measure what will be the accuracy for our setup, and why it is called open loop control, how we can make it is closed loop control. All these topics I will try to cover, and then I will try to explain the concept of EtherCAT communication, Then we will use single access control with the Ethercat and PTO. Then we will do some concepts on virtual access, why we need virtual access, and how we can create a virtual access. So these are more or less the topics that I will try to cover in this series. And yeah, after finishing of these topics, we will be starting a complete course on servo motion. For that, I will provide details later once this series is finished. Yeah. So this is all for this video. Stay tuned for the coming videos. Thank you a lot for your support.